It's interesting because I'm not a fan of advice. I just sort of listen to it and then make my own opinion based on what I've heard. So I don't know. The best advice I can give you, the best advice I can give you would just be take advice on board, but don't use it per se. Make your own opinion of it, your own judgment of it.
Okay, the best advice I have ever received is you are not your thoughts. So when you're stuck in your head and you just think, and you're lost, you just got to remember that you can step backwards and you are greater than this head thinky part of you. Yeah, and it's been so beautiful for me in my life. I can't recommend to reflect on that more deeply than anything.
The best advice I've ever received is from a 75-year-old woman who I've been living with for about a year and a half now, and she's gotten to a stage where it's one of her biggest regrets is not trusting herself. So that I took that as that advice to kind of get in tune with my intuition and trust that, instead of constantly listening to other people and being a bit of a sheep towards other people's opinions. Whereas I've sort of walked my path and I've accumulated some experiences and some karma and some knowledge, and yeah, just trusting myself.
It is to tread lightly on this earth, because you leave stardust with each step.
To always act as if each day might be your last.
Do your best. Don't make assumptions. Don't take anything personally. And that's it.
Oh crikey, it's the best advice I've ever received. To live life to the full, make the most of every moment.
To follow your heart.
I think really to treat others as you would like to be treated.
The best advice that I've ever received is to honour myself. Put myself first and take care of my own issues and my own stuff, and then I'm in a better place to help other people and to lead a contented life.
To unconditionally love yourself. Follow your passions, they'll take you further than you can currently imagine.
Probably from my mum. No point worrying about things you can't control. Probably listen to your intuition.
Always make sure you go to the toilet before you leave home.
Get a job. Trust your instincts.
Well, it's about living, and it's a quote by Charles Lebowski. You haven't lived your life fully unless you've found something you truly love and you let it kill you.
I would say about 30 years ago, a lady I did some gardening work for, very old lady, about a week's work, and at the end of it she gave me a book. She said you might enjoy this book. And about 4 years later I went on a trip to India overland by bus, and I thought it'd be a good time to read this book because it was Zen Buddhism, A Way of Life by Christmas Humphreys. And I took it on the bus to India, and I read it after a couple of weeks, started reading it, and the first couple of pages I was crying because I finally got answers. It was an awakening. I could read between the lines, and yeah, I used to have love tears because I was connecting to the source, and then I opened up to it. Before I had no answers, but this book just